Hello, I'm Pastor Jeong. I'm a Korean. The easiest thing is to disproof heresies and cults, especially Shincheonji. Today, I will introduce Shincheonji's doctrine and its disproof. Shincheonji claims the Bible was sealed by parables. They are using Isaiah chapter 29 and Matthew 13. Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 11, they use this verse. Verse 11, and the vision of all this has become to you like the word of a book that is sealed. And book of Matthew chapter 13 verse 11 and verse 35. Verse 11, and he answered them, to you it has been given to know the secret of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it has not been given. And verse 35, this was to fulfill what was spoken by the prophet. I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter what has been hidden since the foundation of the world. Shincheonji people use these verses and they said the Bible was sealed by parable. But I think that is the trick and to deceive people. To read manually, they said only manually can interpret the Bible and the Revelation. But that is a trick and deceiving people. I will tell you why the Bible is not sealed. If you are Shincheonji people, think about this. What is the meaning sealed? They mean it is cannot interpret to understand or find out its real meanings. But here are questions. If we understand the Bible is impossible, how could Bible translators translate this Bible to our languages? Latin, English, Chinese, Japanese, Korean. Many Bible language versions exist. The first work of translation is to understand its meaning in original language. If we cannot understand its original meaning, also we cannot translate. If I said Shincheonji member is stupid in Korean, Shincheonji는 바보다. You don't know what my real saying. Shincheonji member is like stupid, or is real stupid, or they have disorder, mental retardations. You don't know my real purpose. If you need to know, you must know the context. It means you understand my sayings. Likewise, if the Bible said about the seed, you don't know. The seed means the plant, or offspring and descendants, and its original function. Jesus line something or use a metaphor, you don't know. My question is, if the Bible is really sealed, how could the Bible translator translate whole Bible verses from Genesis chapter 1 verse 1 to the book of Revelation chapter 22 verse 21? And question 2, how could I understand most of the Bible verses? When I counsel a cult member, I use a lot of verses and contents. Actually, I can interpret the Bible, most of verses. The Revelation is not hard to me. Matthew or other apostles' letters are same. That is easy. So I said disproved cult and heresies is easiest to me. Just the difficult thing is saying in English. But making disproof video is really easy. Even I can make 100 videos if I want. To get a goal, Shincheonji members can only work in the designated way, but they can make ways to get the goal. But I can make many ways to get goal. And 3, in reality, the listeners in the book of the Bible who lived in its age and generations, they could understand the word of God or the word of prophets. In the period of prophet Isaiah, they understood his word. In the period of prophet Jonah, the people who lived the city of Nineveh, they understood prophet Jonah's word. In the period of Apostle Paul, the early churches understood Apostle Paul's teaching. Then they left lots of copies of the original Bible apostles' letters because they understood the Bible, the Word of God. How can you have a conversation with the others who cannot understand your saying? It is like a man who is talking to his dog. But in the Bible, there are lots of conversations. Conversation with Jesus, conversation with Apostle Paul, conversation with Apostle Peter. Because they understood Apostle Paul's letter, Paul wrote first letter and second letter. 1 Corinthians and 2 Corinthians, 1 Timothy and 2 Timothy, 1 Peter and 2 Peter. Because they understood and left reactions to apostles. Even Pharisees, they knew Jesus' word too. If you look the Gospel Luke chapter 20 verse 19 said, the scribes and the chief priests sought to lay hands on him at that very hour, for they perceived that he had told this parable against them, They perceived that he had told this parable against them, but they feared the people. So Pharisees and scribes understood the word of Jesus. Even it was hidden by parable, but they knew that. And book of Matthew chapter 21 verse 45. When the chief priests and the Pharisees heard his parables, they perceived that he was speaking about them. And although they were seeking to arrest him, they feared the crowds because they held him to be a prophet. So that people understood the word of Jesus. That is hard to understand to normal people, but understanding is not impossible. Do you enjoy this video? Thank you for watching. I am Pastor Paul Jeong. Thank you.